place to promote the growth of Tigres in English through analysis, discussions, interviews, and more. Welcome to the Lautimes podcast. You know what's better than Monday Night Football? Monday Night Lautimes. We're back on the show that talks about Tigres in English, exclusively in the English language, 99% of the time. Great to be back. I'm Dennis. I'm the host and the producer of the show. We have so much to discuss tonight, as always, here on Lautimes. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Great weekend for Tigres. Lots of positivity again with the club. We're here to talk about it all tonight on the show. We'll be joined by two of my friends of our usual crew. Starting off with the man known as the Pride of Corpus, but he lives in Houston, Mr. AJ Pena, a.k.a. AJ Stradamus when it comes to Buffalo Aguirre. How are you?
How's it going? Excited. Happy that we got the win. Finally in the win column. Let's keep this momentum going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were onto something when you started talking about Vucetich magic with our Uruguayan striker. So you may be onto something, my friend. And of course, also joined by our friend down in the capital of the great state of Texas, our Longhorn on the show, Lou, a.k.a. Tigres _English. How you doing?
What's up, fellas? Great to be here, man. Good to see y'all.
Yes, sir. Hook 'em. Dang right. Great to be back, as always. I want to apologize to everybody who's watching on Twitter. Actually, anybody who's watching us live and saw our post earlier that we were going to start at 9. Yeah, we're like 35 to 40 minutes behind schedule. So sorry for starting a little later. We got held up in our respective things. AKA I got held up at work.
9-ish, bro.
Yeah. Y'all know how we roll. We're brown. We're Mexican. Time is a loose thing, bro. We on CPT. Color people time. Anywho, everybody watching this live, do us a favor. Send a link to somebody. Repost this stream if you're on Twitter. Like the stream. Comment on the stream. Come hang out and chat. Let us know what you think about all this stuff. Let us know you're watching from. And, of course, all my podcast people. Shout out to you guys. Always being so consistent. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. Leave us a comment on Spotify. Tell your friends about the show. All the things. Check out the episode notes and this episode description for all of our handles and links and all the good stuff. As we talk about tonight, finally, a win for Tigres for the first time in what felt like an eternity. A win for the boys on Friday. Viernes Botanero action at home against the mighty Atlante of Burger Klopp. And you come away with a nice victory at home. Thanks to a red card for them, some moments of magic from Juan Bruneta, some youth energy from the young kids who got subbed on. Lots of good things to take away as Victor Manuel Vucetich starts his third coaching tenure with Tigres with 3 points. Summarize the game for us, Lou. From your eyes, what did you see that was different with the team, with Vucetich around? Anything that caught your eye, and just kind of your first impressions of the new era?
Well, I think it's important that we get out of the way the fact that we didn't play great. It wasn't a great performance by any stretch. It wasn't a game that is going to get us excited at all. But I think it was a must-win game. It was one where we really needed the points to get our confidence back. What I did see differently this time is that there is a little bit of a dog in us. I think this is a game where 2, 3 weeks ago we probably would have lost it, just because we would have been facing that penalty, probably would have gone down, and then we wouldn't have had a comeback. I think the team showed that they still have some grit. They still want to battle. They still want to fight, and I think that's important. Um, I thought Vucetich did a good job of keeping the squad as it was. As weird as it's gonna sound, I think we were all screaming for subs at halftime, but I think it was important for him to leave the starting 11 out there for as long as he could, because they need to battle through this. They need to work through it, and the only way you get through these hills is by fighting together, by pushing together through them. And I think Vucetich understood that, and he didn't want to mess with the 11. Um, and so he just let them out there. He just said, "Hey, sink or swim," and I think they swam. So really good. I thought Vucetich was patient. I think other coaches would have probably made the subs quicker, and then we wouldn't have found out what these guys were made of. I think that was important. Um, Great win because of the points where we are in the standings, but I think it's gonna get a little snowball effect going. I think we've got at least three out of the next four are all very winnable, and I think now the team knows we can win them. If we keep fighting, keep playing together, we can win those. And now if you win three out of the next four, that's 9 points. And now you're looking at 13 points, and then still with plenty of games left. I think now you have yourself a good fighting chance. So proud of the boys. I thought after the game, a lot of the footage that was being shown in the locker room, people gathering around Nahuel, pumping him up, thanking him for his performance. I thought he was completely critical for this one. He was our MVP tonight because he did change the outcome of the game, in my opinion. And we need him to be the leader that he is. We need him to be at his best for the upcoming games. So I think that was really important too to get him back. And I liked overall just the structure, the order. I think that's one thing Vucetich is going to bring to this club is organization that we've been lacking. I mean, in the tournament, in Liga MX tournament, we haven't had very many clean sheets in a long time, man. So to be able to get a clean sheet goes to show that Vucetich is going to want to prioritize a good defensive performance, and that could mean moving forward that a lot of our games might be low scoring. It could be a lot of 1-0s, 2-0s, and that's okay because I think at this point that's what we need. We need to ensure that our back line is well structured, that we can hold it together, and then we can start to build upon that as we start to get more signings and more coaching time under Vucetich.
Well said. AJ, I want your take next, but first, two things. One, comment in the chat. Hello to at Infante Cavazos, who's joining us live from YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Hello to you. And we have a fourth person on the stream. He's in his looks like he's in a dungeon. He's not in a dungeon. He's in his usual spot, but it looks like he's in his evil lair. I don't know though. In the house. With the throwback Stros hat tonight. Look at you.
I wanted to stop by so you guys didn't think that I did forget, but I caught the fact that I forgot, and I was the one that mentioned today as opposed to tomorrow. So I wanted to hold my word to it and make an appearance.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. I guess for tonight's episode, I should rename it from a winning weekend for Tigres to Arnoldo After Dark, because that's what it looks like. Oh man, AJ,
Are we gonna get his takes from Vucetich before he leaves us, Dennis?
I do want to hear it, but I want AJ to give his take on the game Saturday, just so one, you can kind of give us what you saw differently or similarly to Lou, but also highlight Buffalo Aguirre, because you saw some things even before the game that could be of note with his previous time under him at a certain other club in Monterrey, and some of the similarities between that and even just his first game.
So I'll start off with the Buffalo. Let's take the hating glasses off. On the ball, terrible. He's terrible. He's awkward. But I will say this game under Vucetich was probably the best movement I've seen of him in the box, and that's something that we can build on. There he made a couple of runs. There was that one run with Chicha where if Chicha would have played it through because the center back was at an awkward angle, he could have had a shot on goal. There was another run when he was on the right side of Linus, and Linus took the shot. If he would have played it through, he could have had another shot on goal. His movement in the box this game was like really impressive. Yes, he's terrible with the ball, but he's not a ball playing forward. He's a poacher. He's just someone that's gonna be in front of the net, and you put it in the front of the net, and hopefully he can connect and get there. So that's my take on Buffalo. But other than that, gotta give a shout out to Galvan on the right back. Huge shout out. You know, he stepped up. He looked natural. The moment didn't look too big for him. He was just, if give him some minutes, give him some game time, and he can give Chewy a run for his money. He was that comfortable. We need to do something with Linus. That was another terrible game from Linus, but like I said, that we have no competition for him at the right, so kind of in that no man's land with him right now. But like Lou said, it wasn't the best game, but a win's a win. We just got to keep building on it.
Another comment in the chat from our friend in New York, Aaron, who I think I know Arnoldo and I have met him in person, right? Back a couple of years ago. I don't know if anybody else.
Houston.
Yeah, in Houston. I don't know if anybody else has met him, but great to see you, friend. Thanks for joining us from the Big Apple. And Threaker in the chat, as always, our loyal, faithful friend Threaker, saying Galvan is competition now. Of course he is. He looked great. His movement, like you mentioned, AJ, natural. His like reading of the situation in like right before Brunetta's goal, and then obviously getting an assist technically out of that is great. Like, he's a young kid, and the fact that he's like able to make that play, have that instinct, is good on him. He gets spacing really well for his age, especially in the box. I don't know. I just really like what he's brought. Every single like cameo that he's had this season, whether it's been in Leagues Cup or even in this league game, I really liked what he's been able to do. So, kudos to him. All right, Arnoldo, why don't you give us your take, and then kind of clump that in with with Vucetich talk, because man, you've been taken aback by the events of the past few days.
100%. First, want to say good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Let me say hello and send my regards to Aaron out in New York. He's a big fan of the club and always hosting watch parties for the community out there, and always a pleasure to either communicate with him. That's really good takes, and it's pretty cool to always have someone that spreads the community or reaches out to the community by hosting events. So shout out to him. Couple of things to build up on here as I came in. So AJ, first of all, I also want to add, I think he had a really good game, meaning Buffalo. I think that cross that he makes, I don't know, we've had outside of Gignac, obviously, the type of forward that he is, a forward that has good touch on the ball. I think that, even though he has some deficiencies, the one thing that is always stood out to me is his technical ability. He's got a great shot, and the cross was fantastic. He was looking for Galvan on that cross that he set him up on. The shot that he scored, the goal is like fantastic. A couple of goals he's had, at Tigres, besides the headers he's had, have been pretty good as well. So I like his technical ability on the ball, but I also think that his involvement in the last third could be a lot better. I think movement wise should be his biggest strength and should allow a lot of flexibility for the people up top. But just want to emphasize that part. I think that he definitely had a good game in my eyes, and probably overall one of his better games at Tigres. I want to present a couple scenarios as well. There, speaking about the competition, I was talking to my uncle about it yesterday. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Linus. Maybe he went on a fantastic run because it was World Cup time, and ultimately he was inspired and motivated. And I can see, I can see how that may have an impact as someone who was very dedicated or has been dedicated for his career. I think that's one thing we can't really question Linus effort wise. I think that he's a professional, never in the midst of controversial things or in the media. It's always been about just playing the game. And even though we want more out of him, we want the crosses, we want the assists, we want the goals, production. I think that the one thing is that you can always count his effort, and I think it's there. And then defensively, I think he has improved a ton. Now, I don't want to sound the alarms because it was the first game, but Galvan did show a lot of good stuff in the few minutes that he played. Not saying that he's definitely going to be the starter, but definitely would like to see him get some more minutes along the way, especially he contributes to the role. It's not like we have a ton of wingers. And I think the only position that really has solidified is Chicha is definitely our left wing starter, without a doubt. My man is out here having a season, having some fantastic games. He's charismatic on the ball. He's willing to take on defenders, and he's willing to try the things. The great value of Damian Alvarez for what it's worth, right? He's willing, in Spanish term, picardoso, always trying to take on his defender on the flank. And even though he may not actually pull it through, it's still a pleasure to watch. So if you take that into consideration, I don't know what's going on. Ociel, probably another injury of a couple of stretches of games. And when he comes back, there's no reason why he comes in as being the starter. He's going to be obviously a bench player. So it gets me thinking, right? And this is something that AJ has been, and now a few other people has been bringing to the table. What is going on with Chuy Garza as well? And I want to couple it with how Linus also fits into that picture, and how Vucetich, the history that he has of being park the bus type coach. Wouldn't surprise me the idea of positioning Linus to compete with Chuy Garza at times, minutes of games, or to play the right back spot and allow the flexibility of Galvan and Ociel Herrera once he comes back to take on the flanks on the right side. We've been sold on Ociel Herrera has been a left winger for so long that I think that whatever we get out of Ociel Herrera playing up top is probably good as long as he's healthy. So I would like to present that scenario as an option to my boy Vucetich. If he's listening, or somebody from the club that can relay the message, especially since he's got an admin role as well. Most people don't have that. So he has an impact on the administration side and management of players, as well as coaching them. Overall, though, I think that it was a decent game. It was nice to see Bruneta score, get the assist. I think Bruneta deserves all the praise that he's been earning and getting from the fans, the media. He's been our best player probably over the last few years. Obviously, even with Correa last year, we all know Correa was the more talented player and produced the goals and the assists. But Bruneta, since he arrived at Tigres, has produced and is slowly creeping into the ranking, or climbing up the rankings for scoring on our list of players, and will continue to do so. I think he's going to have a monster season in terms of stats. So, a win, a great goal, a good assist by the youngster. Defensively, I think that we did pretty well. I did like a couple of things in the midfield of Romulo and Nando Gorriaran playing together. I think Romulo had a good game as well. And then, it just goes back to, is Loroña really our best left back option? and that's kind of where you have that, like, man, we're about 4 or 5 players away from being a true contender, I think, in my eyes. But I think 2 or 3 players at most from really like creeping into that, fourth, fifth spot in the Liguilla. I think if everything goes well, Vucetich is going to turn this thing around and get us into that 7th place, for the Liguilla. And I think that what he does bring to the table is stability. I think experience, obviously, a guy that has championship pedigree, probably a little bit of not recent success with his previous teams coming before arriving at Tigres. But he understands, like we talked about a lot last week, and over the rumors aspect, he understands La Plaza and being in Monterrey and what the fans want, they need. He understands like what the matches mean to everybody, to the players, the atmosphere. So ultimately, I think that I was a little bit more convinced of the dual role, to be quite honest, knowing that he's not necessarily the answer to be the head coach for the next set of projects. I do like him in the admin role, which I also think it's more of a placeholder as well if everything goes well and track for Gignac to take that role in the future. But I think it's a good guy to have as an advisor and somebody that knows, like I said, both teams and understands where to play or what's at stake, I should say. And I do see a transitional role even for the sporting director aspect, where he can probably be in there for about a year. You start working Gignac with him, and then he just slowly phases out and becomes an advisor. And I think that you build, right, which is the thing that we're looking to do for the future. I don't know if Barros Esquelotos is really going to be the coach. I would imagine so, if based on the contract of his current team ending in 2 months. And you start the year with him and then build a project around him. I think that once his contract's over and the negotiations take place, I think you can even get ahead of it and start planning next season with him and Vucetich at the helm on the sporting side, making the director roles or the director decisions, I should say. And ultimately, by November, start getting ahead and getting your player signings ready to go for Barros Esqueloto when he arrives in December or January to start coaching. So ultimately, I think with all that in mind and said, I think that, it's only been one game, lots to work on. But definitely the team just looked a lot more even emotionally stable on the field as well, knowing that you have someone that's experienced and going to give some calmness to the locker room.
I like that you mentioned that emotionally stable. It felt like the vibes of the team have been kind of all over the place, which speaks a lot to the captains. Not necessarily in a great light, but having somebody like him, lead the way and kind of calm the waters, at least on that front in the locker room. I think it's been a big plus, even if it's only been 4 days, 4 or 5 days. So, kudos to the old man. Couple comments here. Aron saying you guys have to pay us a visit in New York, hopefully soon. Cheers. And Adrian, our friend who joined us last week, also joining us as well, saying what's good, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our weekly check-in on the Youth Minutes. 294.
I feel like this is the best pace we've ever had.
100%. And we got about 100 or so minutes last game.
Yeah,
probably a little bit more.
Knowing Vucetich as well, like I would definitely see Enrique Simeone getting some time, and even Diego Ramirez getting some time, because if Vucetich is not afraid to play in the youngsters.
Yeah,
and obviously bringing in Galvan show that. I think adding Carlos Barra also to the training staff as of today, moving forward, also kind of helps out to get that stabilized with his training methods as well. So, I mean, I like I said, I don't want to sound the alarm that everything's going to turn around entirely, but at least it adds, like, if we were at 30% hopeful that we were going to make the playoffs, I think now we're like at 35-40% that we could potentially make the playoffs.
Okay. Lou, do you agree with that? AJ, do you agree with that number?
Yeah, it's definitely gone up. I think the next 4 games are going to tell us a lot.
Mm.
If by the time we get through Juarez, we're sitting at around 13, 14 points, I think you can feel really confident that you can go out and snatch another 12 the rest of the season.
Is
It's
Juarez
very
before or
very
after the
doable.
Clásico?
It's after the Clásico. So
Okay.
you have Santos coming up, then Necaxa. You got the Clásico, which you know that could go either way,
Yep.
and then you have Juarez, which is very winnable. So if you can get at least 9, maybe 10 out of those 3 games, I think your chances are really good because if you get 10, you're sitting at 14. You only really have to chase another 12 points the rest of the season. So it's very doable. One thing that I want to see, I don't know if Boots is willing to do it because I think he wants to work with the guys and their confidence at their positions. But with what we saw from Galvan, you could easily try putting him at right fullback and moving Garza to left fullback and seeing how that works out. Because I think one of the issues we're seeing, and that's why we're seeing a slump from Garza and Lainez, is that I think there's some carryover from practice. I don't think they're practicing well together, and it's carrying over into the game. They just don't have the same chemistry they used to have. And a lot of times that fullback winger role is a lot like a dance, like a choreographed dance. Everything, the overlapping runs, the tucking in of the winger, it's very it has to be very precise at times, and I think they're just not on the same page. Somebody makes a run and the other one didn't, and sometimes I just see them and they're talking to each other, and I could tell they're not on the same page. They're not thinking the same thing, and I think a lot of it is just it's mental, but a lot of it is practice too. I think whatever they were doing in practice hasn't been working, and it's messing them up. It could be that Busa says, "Hey, let's keep trying it until we get it right," or he could say, "Hey, let's try this new thing with Galvan and Lainez, and then on the left you would have Garza and Chicha, and let's see how those pairings work, and maybe you're able to spark them back into good form that way via some rotation, some movement. Because I did think Garza looked better when he moved over to the left after the subs were made, and he was over there with Chicha at some point. So it's something they could try out if this continues to be a bad trend for Garza and Lainez.
Would that make would Chicha and Garza on the right side be the smallest winger fullback pairing in the history of soccer? Because Chuy Garza's 5'3", my boys, and Chicha
Is
Sanchez,
he?
yes, and Chuy
Wow.
Garza's 5'1", or Chicha Sanchez is 5'1". Sorry.
I did not know that. I mean, I knew he was short, but 5'3"?
Yeah, bro.
That's wild.
He makes me look like a giant if I stood next to him. Shoot, I'm only 5'8".
Bro, the short kings on the left, bro. Woo, who would stop them?
I mean, Chicha Sanchez don't play like he's 5'1", man. That guy, dude, that guy plays tall. Like, he is not afraid.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I said, man, we missed out on so much of Chicha Sanchez because we decided to play Marcelo so much.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Between,
you to say that on the air. I know you said that privately to us the other
dude,
day.
between all the coaches like that we've had, like Marcelo got favored. And I mean, there's got to be an aspect as well, like, something's got to get pushed to get him some playing time because at the end of the day, you want to see if this the ROI is good on this player, right?
Right.
And ultimately, I feel like he just got in the way for so long of Chicha Sanchez. I mean, we're talking about the last. How long did Chicha get moved to the first squad? 2 seasons ago, not including this one. So the last two, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember with Paunovic, because we were talking about the youth minutes at the time, and Alfred was so sad we were not going to get the youth minutes. And Chicha Sanchez gave us that boost through the Mexican team, the national team, youth. Man.
Yeah.
But
kudos, man. Kudos to Chicha. He's been in a season of few bright spots right now. Him and Brunetta have been probably the two biggest bright spots of anybody on the team, by far. I don't know if there's a close third like to that, like at all. So
I guess the other thing that now that I mentioned that I made a comment about the defense played well. There's no way Rafael Guerrero gets any more playing time, right? Like we're gonna play Franco and Joaquin moving forward.
I'm
He
hesitant.
wasn't terrible, but
He wasn't
it's
terrible.
just such
Yeah,
a knucklehead mistake.
but also he doesn't play. Like, how do you expect him to be good if he has no rhythm? That dude plays. He has one start a year. I
I thought
yeah,
it was
maybe
the pairing was weird too. If you're gonna play him, why
yeah.
not
Put him
play
with
him with
Joaquin.
Joaquim, who he's had more time with? That was also weird to
Yes.
me.
Yeah, I didn't like him with Franco either. I 100% agree with that. The
I
last
think
time,
Franco is definitely a starter, like
Oh
unquestionable,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
he's
Yeah,
not
he's
going
great.
nowhere.
the last time Guerrero started a game, I'm pretty sure was last season against Chivas in the regular season, and he started next to Joaquim, and he looked totally fine. So
The penalty kick is definitely a little childish. Like
Yeah,
I was like, come on, dude. Like Nahuel was there. Like you're so out of control. Like you're stumbling. Like let him go.
yeah. It's like the Ordóñez foul in week 1. Remember
Yeah.
when they brought the kid in? You feel bad for the kid, but notice he hasn't gotten much playing time after that either.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we need the minutes. It's not like we're on a good pace for the minutes, but we still need a lot, right? So he
Chicha
helps
gets
to
his
fill that.
full percentage, right? So
I believe
Chicha's
so.
gonna if Chicha let's call it he starts, the next 8 games, like that puts us in a really good spot.
Yeah, in theory, we could just get it through him. But I mean, I just don't feel like we should sell ourselves short like we have every single season up to this point.
No,
You know?
I think this Galvan kid is going to help with that as well. I really
Yeah.
like he just had really good ball control, and he's lanky, good on the ball. I mean, obviously that assist in real time, if you think about it,
It's
even
hard,
though
man.
well, I was going to say it's not so much that it was hard per se. It was just quick thinking, right? Like he could have literally like tried to shoot it, like could have made a bad pass, and the fact that he saw it, like he saw it ahead and knew that pass and the drop off was fantastic. Like nice little setup of a touch.
Yeah, and he didn't fold either. Like he didn't back away from the contact even though he knew it was coming. So I was
Yeah.
pretty impressed with that too.
Yeah, it's just like he knew exactly what he needed to do when the ball was in the air. Like he knew exactly the decision making that needed to be take place, and so I was very happy with that.
Agreed. Definitely the best of the subs for sure, and
Did he go and
hopefully.
play? I can't recall.
No. The only
No.
subs were Galvan, Wakanda, and as they said on Twitter the other night, Antifactor Lainez.
Yeah, what's up with that sub too, man?
I don't. That's my okay. I'll give Vucetich one bad point for not using all 5 of the subs. Bro, put Insigne on there, bro. We want to see him. We want to see the Maria Campos, like all these other kids. We don't want to see Mauro, bro. Come on. Especially once we go up to 2-0, it's like they're not going to come back from that down a man. Let's be realistic here.
I think in the long run, Cacheta Araujo loses a spot in the mid, and it's Romulo and Nando. And I also think that as time progresses, Linus will also get some decline in minutes. It's not sustainable to go so many games without an assist.
Yep. 20-something games. It's really bad. Which one of the this is a fun troll question. Which one of the former Tigres boys actually looked decent to you on Friday? Pisuto or Tercero? Which one looked better?
Pisuto.
I was gonna say both look awful. I don't even recall anything that stood out to me. I didn't even know Tercero played until after the match when I saw pictures. I saw Pisuto's jersey, running around chasing nothing, but I don't think that they were
Chasing
really
shadows.
good. Yeah.
I thought Bisuto was fine. I
Where,
don't
where
know.
did Tercero play? I don't even know where he played. Did
So
he play outside back or center back?
center back. They play a line of 5, and he's like the middle of the 3 center backs.
Oh, he's the last man?
He's the sweeper.
Yeah.
Man, we couldn't score on these guys. I predicted a 3-0 loss, but,
Yeah.
I was trolling.
When are you not? There's a reason why we call you Trollnoldo.
Don't give Tigres some firepower here. He already thinks I'm, he just likes to single me out.
Oh, man. Any other notes about Friday? I feel like we got all our bases covered.
No, brother. And I think this is where I part ways.
Give us before you leave, give us your prediction for this week, and then we'll talk about it.
We got Santos, man.
Llantos.
5-0? Nah. I would love to think that that's on the road. Let's call it 2-0.
All right. Okay.
I think we hold down the fort defensively. I wish we could have some more offensive firepower, but I think 2 goals definitely is something that we can work with. I don't think nothing spectacular of a game. I think it's just going to go through the motions. A couple of nice plays here and there, but those are trap games to me, like especially on the road there. I know that we're the better opponent, but we're also the better opponent against Atlas. I just think that the only good thing that we got going is that they're in an awful stage. I mean, their owner is out there singing, thinking he's going to motivate the team through inspirational color choosing or something. That was wild to me.
He's trying to channel his inner Ted Lasso, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was incredible. But anyways, yeah, 2-0. I think Brunetta still keeps the streak of being on the scoreboard yet via an assist or a goal.
Yeah.
Definitely think that, man, I can see that guy scoring a goal like almost every game. Like he's gonna take our PKs, he's gonna take our free kicks, he's gonna be in the box at all times, and they're gonna look for him as opposed to the forwards and the wingers to score. So hopefully he has a monster season, man.
I know Manchester Tigres. If we play to their level, 1-0.
Yeah, see, I think it's a trap game. Probably the only thing I'm ever gonna agree with Trigger on.
Well, thanks for making your cameo.
Yeah, gotta stick to my word, man. Can't be saying that I'm going to show up and then don't show up.
Yeah,
Ladies
and gentlemen,
have a great rest of y'all's evening. And
yes, sir.
What else y'all got on the agenda to talk about?
We'll preview. We're gonna do the full preview of the Llantos game, and then we gotta talk about the girls and their game over there.
3-0 win.
Yeah, it was nice.
All right, I'll
nice.
still tune in. I gotta hang out and have dinner before it gets too late.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're
late,
good.
But
yeah,
I need.
All
right, you guys have a good night.
Good night. See you later, bro.
Thanks, everybody.
That is I don't know though. After dark, new segment.
It's a new segment, bro. I love it.
It's awesome. All right, let's look ahead to Saturday, 10 p.m. late game on Saturday. So hope you're up. Hope you're willing to stay up. Oh, also I've been meaning to mention this. English language broadcast of the game on Saturday too. CBS Sports Network will be showing the game along with TUDN and Univision, but you can catch the game on CBS Sports Network. I assume also on Paramount Plus too. But CBS Sports Network if you want to hear it in English, which would be great. It'll be better than listening to it on TUDN, that's for sure. So we're going there. Santos currently are 17th place. They have not won a game. They have conceded 11 goals, which, I mean, that's not much better than us. I mean, we've conceded 10, but they've only scored 4. Their last game that they played was against Puebla, and they lost 3-2. And they've lost to a few other teams. They've lost to Chivas. They got beat by Rayados at the start of the year, if I remember correctly. And then they got drilled by America earlier in the season as well. Threeger saying dealing with the Tudena crew ill, and Aaron saying Fox Sports 2 has been translating it in English with Adrian Garcia Marquez doing a great job by himself. Siéntate. Yeah, I like when he does that. I wish he had a co-commentator with him, but I do like when he's on doing those broadcasts. Again, anything's better than Tudena. So, with that in mind, we're in a slightly better shape than they are. They're down in the mud, like real bad. And yet Arnoldo has rightfully painted the picture of this being a trap game. So how do you see this shaking out from a lineup perspective, AJ? What changes would you like to see in the starting 11, and how do you think this pans out?
I would start Joaquin and Franco. Just keep build up the partnership there, and that's your partnership for years to come. I would say do what Lou said, move Garza to the left and have Galvan start on the right, just to spice things up, especially against Santos. I mean, this is like everyone in the group was like freaking out, oh, we're playing bad, but that team only had one full practice with Vucetich, you know, so you gotta be patient with Vucetich ball for a little bit. But now that the team's getting more and more practices, I think you're gonna start slowly seeing his style of play, what he wants from the boys, and all that. So that's, I think right now, you know, he's still tinkering with the lineup, and I would do what Lou said, move Garza to the left. Let's spice some things up, see what it can open up for the boys. The attack stays the same, and then obviously the midfield stays the same for me.
Lou, do you agree or disagree?
I do agree, but I also agree with Arnoldo. I do believe it's gonna be a trap game. This is not gonna be an easy game whatsoever. I think we're basing our evaluation a lot on what we've seen in the standings, but the standings can sometimes be misleading.
Right.
Um, they've had some decent performances, like stretches of the game where they actually play well. They're just in the slums like us. You know, they're struggling to put a good 90 minutes together, but they do have stretches of games where they do play decent. Even in this last game against Puebla, they were sort of in control of the match for a little bit there, and then they just faded away. So don't be surprised if we struggle for a good large chunk of this game. It potentially could be another three gear set 1-0. I'm with them. I think it could be one of those games where we struggle for about 80 minutes and then we find a way to score in the last 10. Uh, just because you're going on the road, it's a late game, it's hot out there. There's just a lot of things that, you know, and to be honest, we're still not playing well. I think we're still trying to find our identity under Vucetich. We gonna have to give him several weeks to get his game plan and his system in place. So we're in this transition phase, so we shouldn't. I don't think we should expect a blowout game or anything of that sort. And I think they're gonna come out in battle, and hopefully we put out a starting 11 of guys that are keen on going out to win it, to get it. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Puebla game last year. Remember where we did our usual starters and they stunk it up,
Yeah,
and that's why I'm kind of hoping that for this one they
he
mix up the
changes it.
starting 11 a little bit just to make sure we're all ready to play and ready to go out and fight.
Hold on, before anybody else says anything. Sean in the chat saying discriminating against us Twitter users. Okay, but is Twitter bugging again? Because we've been having issues with the stream, like
Yeah,
getting
because
on
if you
Twitter.
notice, bro, none of them are Twitter comments.
Yeah, no Twitter comments. So like, is it actually still causing issues? Like, let us know, because StreamYard hasn't really been telling me like if if there's been any problems. So let me know for real, Sean, if you're having trouble or if you're just being a troll. Um, 100% agree. I would change things even further. Honestly, I mean, again, uh I'm gonna self proclaim myself the captain of the Enrique Simeone train. Um, I'm gonna keep blowing that horn until further notice, and I would really like to see that happen. No, it's perfect, and me and Double O Nation aren't being. Oh, because y'all are saying stuff in the what?
Yeah, they're
Y'all gotta
Double L
say it
Nation.
here, bruh.
Double L
Pinche Double
Nation
O
is
Nation que no se quiere salir de cara, bro. Read the Twitter comments.
yeah. I don't think the Twitter comments are showing up. That's what they're saying.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, y'all gotta say it in here, big dog. I don't see no Twitter comments, respectfully. There, like I'm looking at the comments thing on here. All I see is YouTube. So maybe that's the glitch, is that those comments aren't landing on this end. I'm not trying to discriminate, bruh. I don't be doing that. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what I see. I promise. Anywho, I wish we could see Simeone start. I think it'd be great to see him and Romulo together. Honestly, I really would like to experiment with. Why did I just say experiment with a accent? Experiment with Goriaran, maybe even a little bit further up. Why can't he play right wing? We've done that with him before. I don't think that'd be a bad option. You know what I'm saying?
He's done it well too.
And he's playing against his former team, La Ley del Ex, right? Like, this is what I would do based on what we've talked about. Garza off left, Franco, Wakanda, Galvan, Simeone, Romulo, Bru, Chicha, Gorriaran off the right, and then Buffalo as a striker.
It's not a bad
Why
lineup,
not?
bro.
Why not?
It's not bad at all.
Why not? And I think too, like, even if he's playing off the right, I like the idea of having an extra midfielder in there too, like a true actual midfielder, even if he's not playing in that way. Because Santos has been running this 4-2-3-1 throughout most of the season, from what I can tell. And Villalba, their 10, he's from Spain, I'm pretty sure. He's having a good season so far. So anything to kind of neutralize him and whatever they're doing in the middle of the park, as you mentioned, Lou, with their good phases and good patterns of play from time to time, I think that wouldn't be a bad option to help counteract that, per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, makes sense.
Sean saying Lainez, I think he's kind of like Drake, please Q, where he has a constant level and the score sheets contributions come in fit spurts and bursts. We always crap on wingers my whole fandom and only miss them when the next guy doesn't live up to the hype. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because Q was playing off the right. I mean, he was playing off both wings. Are we cursed at right wing? I think maybe that's the real curse. I know we talked about the Siboldi curse last week or a couple weeks ago, but maybe we're cursed on the right wing, bro. Because like
I
we
think our
haven't had
last real consistent right winger was probably Danilino back in 2011.
That's what I'm
that
saying,
time
bro.
frame.
That's what I'm saying.
And then at that time we had Damian Alvarez playing left winger. So that team had really good wingers.
Do you think, Sean's saying, do you think there's any chance that Vucetich goes Bill Parcells? If they want you to cook the dinner, they should let you buy the groceries. And he names himself permanent coach. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think he finishes out the semester, and that's it. Also, Short Kings unite and play the kids, says Sean.
Garza and Cheech on the left. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the plan is to have by January 1st, have a manager in place that's going to be permanent. I don't think Buse wants it long term. I think the only way he's tempted to do it is if he reaches a final, wins a final, and now he's kind of itching to get another one. That would be really interesting, actually. If he were to make a miracle run this season and we lift the cup, bro, and you're like, what do we do now?
For real. Sean
Dude,
saying
I would love that. I would love to have that problem, bro.
Oh Lord. Double Nation predicts 6-0 with a Buffalo hat trick. Oh Lord. AJ AJ might have to get paid for his professional opinions if that happens. Okay, okay, I understand now. I do see the comments.
Yeah, that's
I don't
that's
know
what I
why
was telling you.
I don't know why they're not showing up on my end. That's weird. So,
Yeah.
we're still I'm just going to read some of them that these two jokers have been saying for the last few minutes. We're still a ways away from football sexo. Talking to our see, I wish I would have saw this when another was on. Prende la luz, güey, para iluminar esos tiempos oscuros. I thought we were forbidden for winning. This is Sean. What the hell happened? Papi paga the playing time for Flores. That's what Devil Nation said. Tercero looked like Rafa Marquez out there. Lou, if you're reading this, give Dennis a wedgie. And Sean says, yeah, an atomic wedgie.
Oh,
Oh,
these
lordy.
guys.
I'm going 2-1 us, says Sean, up on the screen, because I don't trust us to not give up goals. Yeah, you're onto something there. We even gave
Yeah.
up a PK even in the win, but the offense seems to be clicking. We've had a lot of touches in the box. You notice that, Lou? We've had a lot of touches in the box the last couple
Yeah.
games. We had like 40 something against
41,
Atlas,
I
like
think.
41, and then we had I think 30 on Friday against Atlante. It's good
Yeah, and
numbers.
that's a good thing, bro. It's just I think we're not making the right decisions once we enter the box. I think that's our biggest problem. Even with Chicha, I mentioned it yesterday that he had a lot of entrances into the box and looked dangerous, but just needs to sharpen up the decision making, better passing, scan the field better, kind of be a little more patient. I think he's got time to make better decisions, but he rushes and then just kind of makes the wrong pass. I think once we sharpen that up, I think we're going to be pretty dangerous.
Sean summing up correctly. Touching the box leads to football sexo. Or touching the ball in the box leads to that. Couldn't agree more. So with this trap game, how do we think it pans out? Prediction time. Come on, chat.
I'm going to go 1-0.
Ah, la
I think
madre.
we score late. Might be a frustrating one.
Okay, AJ?
I'll go 2-0.
Give me 2-0 as well. Goals from Brew
I'm going to go Brew
and
against
Brewski
this old team.
always. And Chicha.
Chisha should have had one last game. It should have been 3-0. That one where he hit
Yeah.
right outside the box
Uh-huh.
when he made that run in.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I
I'm gonna
don't
go Brew and Buffalo again. They're heating up.
this guy. I don't think he got my box fun. Now I do. Now that you brought it up. I thought you had forgotten a word or a couple of words. Anyways, I'm out, fellas. Catch the rest on the pod. See you later, Sean. Thanks for always joining us. Come back, dang it. Stop working all the time. We miss you. Like I said, the game's super late on Saturday. Tune in at 10 p.m. And no, we will not have actual lautimes after dark after the game is over. You guys would have to pay me a lot of money to stay up even later than we are all having to stay up because of this game.
At
So
some point, we are going to have a watch along.
yeah. We need to bring it back for sure, but we'll figure out a time to do that. Not now. Let's pause real quick. Are we missing anything men's team wise? As far as like injuries and rumors and stuff, feels like it's been pretty quiet ever since the Vucetich stuff has gone down.
Paco Reyes had a concussion, so I don't know how long he's going to be out for concussion protocol. I would imagine
It's
probably just
usually
1 week.
it's usually 7 days with the league.
So he should be available for this next one. We'll see if maybe Wusit decides to use him or what. Ozzy, we still haven't gotten any word on him, but it looked like a hamstring injury, so I'm thinking he's probably going to be out another 2 games, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Same with Cachete. Same with Farfan.
Farfan, who knows, right? We have not heard anything out of that guy for
Yeah,
forever.
all season. Bro might be a ghost at this point, which is not great. So, and no rumors either. There's still no credible striker rumor. We can.
Jovelich,
Jovelich is gone. He's going
gone.
to Edgar's team, Seattle. So I don't know what else is out there. And
Kennedy tore his ACL.
yeah, or Achilles or something, one of the two. So of the three ones that were linked a long time ago, Petar Musa still could be an option. Maybe. Who knows?
I could
After
see us getting a
That would be the
forward.
best.
I could see us getting a forward that Vucetich knows. Like
Oh, Lord.
someone that's played under him, like like someone an older.
¿Quién, güey? Pinche Funes Mori. O sea, who?
Nah. We're not going that route, bro.
I don't know
Don't
who,
even mention that.
but I just think it's gonna be someone that's played under him.
Okay.
I think it's not like I said in the chat. I don't think it's gonna be like that splash signing that we want. It's gonna be like a depth piece to carry us to the rest of the tourney.
Yeah.
Nothing that's like long term.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some news on that this week. Stay tuned. Moving on, Femenil. Great weekend for the girls. 3-0 win on the road against Cruz Azul. Some new additions to the team, some reintegration of some players. First place after 4 games, 12 points, 14 goals scored, only 1 conceded. That's pretty good. Only bettered by America and the other group because they have scored 25 goals. I mean, they had a 7-0 game today against Necaxa. They beat the same Cruz Azul team 10-0. Like, we're the only team that's given them a run for their money, and that was in the Campeón de Campeonas match.
Yep. Yeah, they're on fire.
Yeah. Let's talk about this game. Goals from Ordóñez. I mean, it's another day that ends in Y. Diana Ordóñez is always pretty much going to score for this team. Another Mari Carmen Reyes goal, which is great. Continue to provide output there. And then what a return for Thembi. Coming back into the team after her WAFCON adventures and being a super sub and coming in and scoring the first goal of the game to kind of break the deadlock open. Didn't really have a ton of great chances before then, and then finally we get that to go down. Grace, new girl, comes in as well. Good impact off the bench. There's some fairly good amount of things to like about how they're playing right now. Obviously, it's not perfect by any means. There's still some additions that could be made, and there's still some depth pieces that are missing. But, I mean, the numbers don't lie. Like, we're playing all right. And to get a win on the road like that and finally score more than 1 goal, it's a positive.
Compared to last season, we're doing way better against road opponents. I thought last year our road performances were not very good. I mean, like you said, it's not perfect because I think we're getting off to very slow starts, and I thought there was stretches in the game where I thought we were very sloppy with the ball, bad passes. Mayra Delgadillo, for example, was one that was frustrating me quite a bit with just passes that weren't going anywhere, not even near a player that could receive them. So things like that need to be sharpened up and cleaned up. But to me, the game changed once we brought in Thembi. I thought Thembi was amazing.
So good.
Just so good for us. Honestly, I think at this point might be one of our best players, if not our best player, when she's healthy and gets minutes. And it's a positive to see Mari Carmen Reyes get on the score sheet. I thought before her injury, she was doing so much for the squad, not only offensively but defensively too. I thought she was such a good box to box type of player, and I think we're starting to see the positive effects of having her on the pitch because now we're defending a lot better. I thought last year in our transition defense, we were getting roasted. A lot of times, it felt like it was their strikers against our center backs, and there was no shield. There was no midfielder that could kind of slow down the opponent on those transitions. And you see Mari Carmen Reyes kind of take on that role now, where between her and Delgadillo, they're able to, not Delgadillo, what's her name,
Alexia.
Alexia Delgado. They're kind of able to help out a lot defensively, and that doesn't expose their center backs like they were getting exposed last year. So that's going to lead to clean sheets, low scoring by the opponent, and that's always going to give you a good shot at being able to get wins. I think the offensive power is there, and I think we're only going to get better as Themby gets incorporated onto the squad. The new girl, Grace Asentawa, I thought she looked okay. She's obviously has to build chemistry and everything with the rest of the team, but that's a good piece. I thought we were a little bit slow last year to be able to add another player that gives us better pace. I think it's going to be critical. I still think we're lacking in certain positions, and hopefully they're going out and trying to get at least a fullback, perhaps a winger that can give Maria Sanchez some rest. But the squad is looking a lot better, and we got to credit Pedro Losa for that. I thought we criticized them heavily last year because of the performance of the squad, but I think this year he's got the team looking better and making better performances, and it's starting to show in the standings. We're not dropping points, and we're at the top where we need to be.
Yeah, like I mentioned last week, I sound like a broken record, but the biggest thing that Mari Carmen brings is her balance. Like she balances out the midfield so much better than anybody else could have, right? Because
Yeah,
it's a very clunky like trio of her, Mayor, and Alexia. Like that's well, not including Mari Carmen. Anybody else? Like for last year, for example,
well, it would have been
Hermoso.
Hermoso, yeah,
Yeah, like that's clunky. That's very like none of those are like your typical like not one of those is like your typical destroyer like six that can actually like be a shield that can actually do things like to kind of help balance things out, especially defensively. Mayor is not even I still don't even consider her a midfielder. Like she's more of a forward than anybody. That's where she's played most of her time at Tigres. Well, not recently, obviously, but beforehand. And so Mari Carmen coming in and just being one, being able to play both ends of the field, but also she's a dog, bruh. Like she be hustling. She's not afraid to like get in and make a good tackle. I mean, she's all pretty consistently getting yellow cards, you know. Um, I just love her attitude, love the way that she plays. She plays really fearless, and then in the box, like she's really good in the box. Like in the final third, positioning always seems to be right. Her spacing always seems to be right. I mean, she's got 4 goals through four
yeah,
or five games. Like that's really good for a midfielder. She's not a forward. She's a midfielder in this team. And obviously Diana's carrying most of the goal scoring load, but to be the second highest goal scorer on the team this early in the
yeah.
season, I think that says a lot. And it's not like she has one or two. Like again, 4 goals is 4 goals. So I think she deserves a lot of credit.
Absolutely, and we'll see how the other pieces get incorporated. Corginali, due to her injuries, she's sort of been relegated to the bench, and hopefully that's a player that we can start to give her a few more minutes because she's also a game changer when she's on the pitch. She's so good moving without the ball that I think that's one that we need to keep keep playing, give her rhythm, and that way she can, when she's needed, she can step up.
Agreed. Next game for the girls is also on Saturday. So we get another doubleheader. Femenil first, guys second. The girls play at 8 o'clock. So they'll be back to back. Girls are at home against Pachuca. Pachuca so far, um, they're in the opposite group and they have, I believe, 7 points because they've played 4 and they've won 2 and I think drawn 1 and lost 1 if I remember correctly. Always a team that's prone to give us some trouble just because of their attacking presence, especially with Corral. Um, but it's a home game for us, and we've looked pretty good at home so far this year. So I hope we get a win.
Yeah, I think it's realistic. Pachuca hasn't been the same Pachuca as previous seasons. I think they're going through a little bit of a slump. They struggled in their last game, and then with us being at home, I think it's going to be a game that I think we can control with possession. And now that we're better defensively, I like our odds a lot more than, for example, last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 8 o'clock game, Estrella. I hope it's on. It was not on Peacock. I think the last time we played at home, the girls were. So hopefully that changes. Um, but we'll see. See what happens there. Am I missing anything? I feel like we've covered all of our bases tonight.
I think we're good.
Look at us. An hour on a non-emergency basis? It's pretty good.
It's because we have no rumors to talk about, bro.
Yeah.
If there was like 3 or 4 rumors, it'd be an hour and a half like our
La
usual.
estufa no está prendida, güey. O sea, there's like nothing to really ponder about.
The gears in the rumor mill have stopped. There is nothing. Nobody has info.
Where
Hopefully,
you at?
hopefully the next 7, 8 days we get a little something
Where you at?
on both sides.
Double O Nation. Where you at, Double O Nation? Come on. I will end with this. Did you guys see the video that was sent in the group thread about Siboldi?
I
About what he
watched that
said.
whole interview actually earlier
Did
in the
you?
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Shoot. That clip, I was like, he's got some good points.
He was asked a lot of questions about Cruz Azul, how Joel Wiki's doing, and that's the way the conversation started. And then he was asked, which team do you identify the most with in Liga MX? And he pretty much dodged the question. I think he's hurt, obviously, with us. He said, "Oh well, some people, they usually associate me with Atlas because that's the first team that brought me to Mexico. But I'm a Peñarol fan. That's my boyhood team, and I'm a Peñarol fan, and that's what all I ever be." And so that led to the question about his departure from Tigres, and he said, um, they made up a bunch of lies to try not to extend my contract or let me continue because they already had a coach that they were in talks with that they wanted. Which what I think that's a little bit of a different version than we've heard, right? The way things had gone was that he all that stuff, all the allegations, right? And then they had to go out and get a coach. But what he's saying is they had a coach already in Paunovic, and that's why they had to create these rumors to be able to get rid of him without upsetting the fan base, which doesn't surprise me at all. And he says, I'm not the only one that has gone through this. Look at what happened to Tuca. And then he said, well, and then look at the way Pizarro left. He said he likely saw the writing on the wall that they were going to treat him the same way they had treated me. And so that this is a person that's hurt. He said several of the people that did this to me are still in the front office, in the Tigres front office, and I think we know who he's talking about.
Oh yeah.
And like I've always said, I believe him I trust him more than I trust some members of our front office. I don't think we've acted correctly, and I think some of our problems stem from the fact that we've been unjust and haven't done things correctly. Even as late as Torrado, right? The way Torrado left, I mentioned the last week. I don't think it was right. I don't think we did it the right way. If we need to get rid of a guy, we just get rid of him. We don't need to. We don't need to create drama around it, right? If the decision is to move on, then we need to explain it to him and then say it to the press just like that. And I think we've used the press in bad ways. I think we've used the press to spread misinformation, and I think we've paid the price for it. I think a lot of our issues are self-inflicted, sadly, and we just don't like our front office doesn't have the humility to come out and apologize and fix it. But I'm hopeful that perhaps they learn from some of their mistakes, and from here on out they do things the right way, because it's embarrassing and I don't think it's right.
And that, my friends, is the Siboldi curse. Summed up to a T. Yeah, you're right. That side of the story of like, I guess we like inadvertently thought of it, right? But like the concept of, oh, Paunovic was going to be their guy all along. This was their way of getting me out. I mean, hey, I've always stood with the guy ever since the beginning of this whole situation. So I'm not going to change my stance on that. I think he got poorly treated on the way out.
And in the court of public opinion, our fans don't side with our front office. They side with Siboldi on this issue, and a lot of the anger and frustration and pent up anxiety that this fan base has stems from the decisions the front office has made. I mean, you had Siboldi, the fans were mostly happy with him, and then your smart idea is to bring in Paunovic. Bro, read the room. Like, surround yourself with some people that actually know the club, that understand the fan base, that has a good ear for what the fans want. Imagine if you were to bring that to me, right? I'm an advisor or whatever I am, a guy that surveys the crowd, and the front office says, "Hey, man, we're thinking about letting go of Siboldi and bringing in Paunovic." Be like, "No, you guys are idiots, right?" Like most Tigres fans would be like, "Are you dumb?" But it just appears that they don't have anybody to tell them, "Hey, that's not smart." I mean, look, if you let go of Siboldi and you bring in Pep Guardiola, nobody's gonna kill you. But you let go of a legend, club legend, a guy that's well loved, to bring in Pauno. Give me a break, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's tone deaf. It's just it just tells me that you live in a bubble where you don't understand the needs and concerns of your fan base.
It's brain dead in every way. Now, last thing.
Torrado was another one, bro.
Yeah.
You let go of Sancho, who wasn't incredibly liked, but at least he had a past with this club.
Yeah.
And then your next move is Torrado.
Un
Nobody
mamonazo,
stopped to
bro.
tell these cats, "Hey, bro, he's not gonna be real popular." And then you bring him in and he let him get him to give an interview, and the first thing he says, he gets asked about Gignac and his continuity at the club, and he's like, "Oh no, nobody's above the club." Like, bro, let's pump the brakes with those comments.
So, with that in mind, the last thing, and then we'll be done. One thing that Siboldi said in those clips is that there's still people at the club in the front office who are there like from when he was there, that are part of the problem. That's why he left. So is he talking about? Is he talking about Duener? Because like that's it, right? Like
He's
Culebro gone.
absolutely talking about him.
So again,
100%.
that's the thing that needs to happen. Duener out. How funny would it be? The alternate universe where Duener for some reason resigns between now and November. You bring in somebody new to replace him, but in the meantime, Vucetich hires Siboldi as the permanent head coach.
That bridge is burned, bro. I think that bridge is burned.
Oh, come on. Come on. You don't think El Viejito can work up some magic? Come on.
The only way he comes back, you have to understand a person like that. That's a person that has pride and dignity.
Yeah.
And
As
and when
people should.
and he didn't get fired, bro. Like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, we're moving on because we're gonna get another
Sí,
coach
lo
and
tiraron a la
it's
basura,
done.
güey.
No,
Yeah.
they threw mud on his name, bro.
Yeah.
They tried to make him look like a cheater, like a guy that backstabbed the club, a traitor. You see what I'm getting at?
Yay.
It's not
Yes.
your normal, hey, bro, thanks for your service and goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
He honestly, he probably would have been okay. Like, he would have been fine. It's what they did to his name that hurts. That they tarnished his name. They tried to make him look like a traitor to the club when all he's done is help out this club. And so you think he's just gonna be like, oh yeah, man, I'll come back and coach Tigres without a proper and lengthy public apology? You burned him publicly, so he's not gonna
Yeah.
want behind closed doors. Hey, bro, sorry, we didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Sorry about all the stuff we said behind closed doors. No, he's not gonna want that because
No.
you burned him publicly. So what he's gonna want is a public apology from people in the club saying, "Hey, look, we messed up and blah blah blah." And you think that's gonna happen? You think
I'm
you
not
think
saying it's
these
happening now. I'm saying if Duener leaves.
who's gonna
That's
do
the
the
one that needs to
apologizing?
apologize. Yeah, that's the one that needs to apologize.
Well, yes, but he's not gonna freaking do it. Like, so bring in a new guy to do the work for him. That's all I'm saying.
The club's not gonna do it because, for one, pride reasons, and two, you set yourself up for a lawsuit. The moment you admit, hey, yeah, we did some dirty things, we leaked some stuff to the press that we shouldn't have leaked,
Yeah,
then
that too.
that is a lawsuit.
See you in court, big guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to resign to the fact that it's not happening. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's just like Diego Coca's probably not ever gonna happen again,
Yeah.
and I'm perfectly cool with that too. Like,
Yeah. Well,
because he burned us, he did it to us,
yeah, he did it himself.
and the fan base is not gonna forget.
Yeah.
Daniel
Exactly.
Guzman's never coming back to this club. There's people that the bridge is burned, right? It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
We need to stop burning bridges, though. That's a bad habit to have. This club has a really bad habit of doing so, especially in recent times, with a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of players. We don't need to be doing that. It's not a good thing to be doing in life. Not gonna lie. So it goes. All right, let's get out of here. Let me throw up the banner real quick. Shout out everybody watching us live. Shout out to all you listening on podcasts later. Thank you for joining us on the show. As always, follow us on all of our handles, all of our accounts, whether it's lautimes, whether it's Tigres English, with his new profile picture that completely has still caught me off guard. With Devil and Nation, all of the guys. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our TikTok, which we haven't been on in a while, but maybe I'll fix that soon. We'll see. I'm about to have a lot more free time. Email us. Let us know if you want to be part of the show. All the things. Read the show notes in the episode description. Leave us a review. Leave us a rating. Give us a like. Give us a follow. All the things. You guys know the drill. When will we be back? When will we be back? I don't know. And I feel like I say this every week, but genuinely, I don't know, because we're not going to record next Monday. I'll tell you that. Why? Because I am going to be driving the entire day next week. And pretty soon, for the next few weeks, my recordings will be not in Texas, but in the former home of our friend Fred, Nashville, Tennessee, for about 3 or 4 weeks. So, we'll see. Probably next Thursday, if I had to guess. It's probably the next time we record. So, about 10 days from now. We'll keep you guys posted. But that's probably what will end up happening. So, stick with us. Let us know. Again, if you want to be part of the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. Honestly, I've got some ideas in my head about some things I want to throw at you listeners, but I will wait until I actually have some mental capacity to do that starting next week. So stay tuned for that. Some potential new ideas and things on the way. But for now, that's it for us. For Lou, for AJ, for Arnoldo, who joined us earlier, and for me, Dennis, this is Low Times. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. We'll talk to you guys probably next Thursday. Ciao for now.
Peace.